between he and Sterling Marlin moments ago.
He was trying to let me go, and he got his right sides up in the fuzz. I didn't know he was trying to let me go. I don't think anybody was going to cut me a break tonight, so I'm really sorry.
The NASCAR race director David Hoots came on the NASCAR channel and asked the inspector in Kurt Busch's pit to communicate to his crew chief Jimmy Fennig that if Kurt was involved in anything with a car in front of him later tonight, he would be brought to pit road and the penalty box would be opened. Dave?
Alan, I did check with Lee McCall, Sterling's crew chief, to say, hey, were you guys going to let the 97 go? And he said, well, they never asked, but then again, we never got the chance to let him go either.
All right, Matt.
What did you tell Kurt Busch about NASCAR's warning?
Well, right there, you know, he didn't really mean to get into Sterling, you know, and I told him NASCAR's watching us. We're on probation, we know it, you know, so we're trying to be extra careful out there.
Well, he's got one advantage right now. He's leading.
Yeah, nobody's in front of him.
Yeah. Kurt Busch out in front of this race for the first time all night. As we look a little farther back at the race for 5th place, actually 4th, 5th, and 6th, Ken Schrader, Jamie McMurray, and Jimmy Johnson.
I mean, Kurt knows the whole world's watching him right now, so, you know, he's not going to go out there and take somebody out intentionally, because he knows he's under a magnifying glass. So he is trying to be careful. I don't think that was an intentional deal with Sterling. But the end result is still the same. So, I mean, you know, NASCAR is going to have to make a call if it were to happen again that way.
He just had to hesitate to get with the gas there.
I think right now that Jimmy Johnson's a little bit faster in this 42 car, but being faster and passing here at this racetrack is two different things.
Talk about Kurt Busch being very much under the microscope tonight. This was just a little while ago when he got by Casey Mears to pick up a spot. And then the incident with Sterling Marlin racing for 2nd at lap 371. A little bit of left front cave in there on that 97. Yeah. Of course, at another track, that'd be a big deal. Here, half the cars, you got some fender damage on them. It will be very interesting to see what kind of reaction Kurt Busch gets if he's able to win this race. We saw the reaction he got at driver introductions earlier. Ricky Rudd had been having such a great night. He picked up some damage in the aftermath of that accident. Now he's being worked on, not on the racetrack.
A heartbreak for Ricky Rudd. They pulled the car behind the wall, a busted radiator. They're going to try to change a radiator, but what a great run he had going tonight.
Yeah, that's too bad. So Rudd now 16 laps down and falling as he spends time behind the wall. Now that we've settled in a few laps after this restart, Kevin Harvick is starting to reel Kurt Busch back in.
Well, we've seen it a lot tonight and last night. The hardest car is not real good after a restart, but after they run 10 or 15 laps, the thing becomes a rocket.
And when Kurt Busch called Kevin Harvick, Harvick just moved up and let him go. Will Kurt Busch do the same thing? Knowing that he might not be able to get back by him.
They're going to catch the tail end of the field pretty quickly. Tony Stewart and then Bobby Lamonte, involved in some incidents earlier tonight, are going to be next up for the lead cars to negotiate.
Well, whether he does and whether he doesn't. If he doesn't, Kevin will probably be less patient with him because, like you said, you kind of expect that favor in return when you do that.
Neither one of these guys are not aggressive. They're both, you know, pretty high-profile, pretty high-strung personality.
Yeah, but I mean, when you come to a place like this, if you give a guy a break and then all of a sudden your car works a lot better and you get back to that guy and that guy doesn't return the favor, your blood pressure goes up real quick here. So, you know, we'll see what happens if Harvick can get back up to him.
How about this? Ward Burton trying to work by Dale Earnhardt Jr. and follow Sterling Marlin through. That's for 18th place. Junior struggles continue here.
And Bill Elliott in the 9 car has managed to get himself back in the lead lap and going by Junior for position.
Under that last caution. Joe Nemechek next to try Junior. So the second place driver in the championship tonight has dodged all the bullets so far as the cautions and the accidents are concerned, but he's not having a very good night performance-wise. Matt Kenseth is running in 10th. Earnhardt Jr. now getting shuffled back to 21st place. Jeff Gordon's running 3rd. How about your leader, Kurt Busch, still hanging on to that few car length advantage over Kevin Harvick. Casey Mears and Johnny Benson. That's 13th and 14th they're racing for. And Casey Mears looking by Johnny to take the spot. And an update on Rusty Wallace just coming in. He has been released from the hospital. Everything's fine. And he's on board his helicopter and heading back home.
That's fantastic.
Yep, good to see. It was a vicious crash, if you missed it earlier. Michael Waltrip crashed in front of him, came down the bank, and Rusty Wallace had no place to go and just plowed him. Man, that was close there. So Johnny Benson back by for 13th. Here comes Jeremy Mayfield and Terry Labonte.
And what, Wally, these guys are driving very, very hard now with a little less than 100 laps to go. They realize every spot they can get now.
Yeah,
money.
It's go time now. So Mike Skinner taking a spot.
Just trying to think of, we've had like 25 laps of, well, let me recheck that here.
I think that handle's gone away a little bit for Casey.
Yeah,
He's struggling right now. And he's got a long way to go yet if they're not going to stop anymore.
We've had 12 laps of caution since these guys made those pit stops at 3:39. So for most of these guys, the fuel has pretty much been taken care of. You think? Yeah.
That'd be my guess.
So now it's a race for the checkers. See Casey Mears. As high as second place, as low as 42nd, a lap down at one point. Very nice job tonight. It's got to be tough on a rookie to come here to Bristol. I mean, tough on anybody.
Exactly. Just ask for Mark Martin.
Yeah.
Got a great race car and got caught up in somebody else's wreck.
Scott Willer, Johnny Sauter, 27 and 4, moving by Casey Mears. Ted Musgrave back on track after time behind the wall from a crash on the backstretch.
It's one of those places when you go to bed at night, you still hear your spotter. Like that. Inside.
I'll tell you what, Harvick is not letting Kurt Busch get away from him.
All right, now we've tried to do this about 8 times tonight, and every time we've done it, the cautions come out. You know what I'm setting up here.
So don't jinx it.
Well, I have to. We have to.
You have to?
Yeah. Let's go through the field. Starting with the leader. Matt, let's try it.
Kurt Busch trying to sweep Bristol in 2003 on his last stop. The air pressure and track bar adjustment has helped a tight and loose race car, but he did make one observation. If they get a caution with about a 50 to go, he said you might want to think about pitting your tires, Dave.
Last time Kevin Harvick stopped, they changed just the 2 right side tires and made no chassis adjustments to that car. It's as good as it's been all night for Kevin. Matt, back to you.
Jeff Gordon pitted back on lap 311, took on tires. The last stop, just gas only for track position, running the same lap times as the leader, Bill.
Outstanding run for Ken Schrader. Very few changes made to the car throughout the evening. In the top 5, maybe a shot at the win. Very quiet night for Jamie McMurray, another team that hasn't made very many changes on this car. McMurray's car is good. Both those guys can make it to the finish on fuel. Snyder. Bill, at the beginning of this run, Jimmy Johnson had about the fastest car. Now his car's just gotten too tight, coming off of the corners. They can definitely make it all the way on fuel. This car won twice at Dover last year, Matty.
Until the last
leaders have gotten together and they're going by Casey already.
24th place car getting put a lap down. And Kevin Harvick putting a lot of pressure on Kurt Busch for the top spot. A lot of traffic in front of them now.
Lots of traffic, and how they get through this is going to determine who ends up in front in about 10 or 15 laps.
Jeff Burton, Tony Stewart give way.
Now you want the slower cars to go up high, and that's what guys are supposed to do when they're slower. Run that high groove so the fast cars can stay down low.
Oh, Jeff Gordon is up out of the groove off turn 4. Troubles for the 24. Jeff Gordon was in third spot, but he slowed coming off turn 4. Well, left side tires look good.
Same thing happened to him last week at Michigan.
Caution is coming out. Hearing that something has fallen off the 40 car. That's why his number is up on the black flag board. Look at some guys getting their laps back here. Casey Mears, Steve Park, Tony Stewart getting a lap back from Kurt Busch. Saying it's a bumper brace from the 40 car.
That'll definitely puncture a tire or radiator or...
All right, now Kurt Busch talked about hitting for tires with 50 laps to go. Okay, what about with about 75 laps to go? Matt, what happened to the 24 car, do you know?
Well, Benny, he told his team he believes he has a flat right front tire.
Yeah, so if it is, it's a lucky break for him that the caution came out.
And maybe he did run over that brace that came off the 40 car.
Yeah, it looks down.
Slow, for sure.
Yep. So who will pit here?
Besides Jeff Gordon.
There'll be 77 laps to go as they come to the opening of pit road.
Gosh, you hate to give up the lead, don't you?
Oh, man.
Lead lap, 24 cars.
I don't think they'll pit.
No, I don't either. I mean, you can't.
Harvick fakes.
Not if you're up front.
Kenny Wallace, it looks like, going to make the first move. The 11th place car. How about 10th place Dale, 9th place Dale Jarrett will go in first. And a couple cars behind him on the lead lap stay out. So this is going to get interesting with these guys with the fresh tires here in the final laps.
Oh, yes.
And talking to the guys down in the garage area before, new tires don't make that much difference. Bill?
Well, Dale Jarrett on pit road talked to his crew, said, I think this is our best shot. So they're going to bring him in, give him fuel, give him 4 tires, and then send him back out. Everybody behind him came in, so you got to try and take advantage of this. He's on his way. He only took 2 right sides. Matt?
Bill, Jeff Gordon, not exactly sure which side the tire was flat. He said it might be the left front. I'm not quite sure. They're going to change all 4 tires. They're talking about an air pressure adjustment. The car still pushes in the center of the corner.
So caution number 18, that would be a new high for the 2003 season, is out here at Bristol.
Getting your hands on a great deal just got easier. It's clear out time, and with every Hyundai price to go, you win. It generates more power than ever before. It generates more heat than ever before. That's why today's harder working engine needs Castrol GTX. Engineered for the best protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown of any leading oil. Castrol GTX, put it in.